Hello everybody, Zeidoktor here. In this episode of Typical Manga Review is going to be centered on Attack on Titan, Chapter 95, Liar. And our chapter opens with Reiner and Gabby kind of walking down the street together. And once again I am struck by just how goddamn tiny Gabby is compared to everybody else. I mean, I know she's a kid, but holy cow, it just kind of drives the point home. Anyway, everybody's like giving them, all the other aliens are giving them praise. Like, good morning, our warriors. Hello, little tiny warrior to Gabby. We have all high hopes for you, and all that stuff. They're leaving the ghetto they're leaving the ghetto, and then they're crossing the guards. One of the guards kind of gives Gabby some grief, but in this case, it's actually pretty lighthearted. It's like, so you made yourself useful in the battle the other day, huh, kid? Come on, tell me about it. You didn't wait yourself, did you? Here, same as always, training at HQ. What's with her? I was convinced you'd want to tell us all about it. She was awfully quiet today. Reiner seems to have noticed too, because he asks about it. But Gabby says that Reiner's the one acting strange. You're lying about something. Like, I don't know what it's about, but Aunt Karina seems to have figured it out. She said that ever since you came back from the island alone, it's like you become a different person. She's really worried. Well, her 12-year-old son came back a middle-aged man. Of course she'd feel worried. Gabby offers to hear him out if he ever wants to tell her the truth someday. He's quiet, but she goes on that Titan scientists say that blood relationships have a strong influence on whether memories are passed down by the 9 Titans, right? If I inherit the armor, then you'll probably live on inside of me, Reiner. We'll even share and understand things that are too painful to tell others. I'm sure that if we work together, we'll be open up the way for Eldia's future. Meanwhile, at the actual training grounds, like some of the other kids there are like just complaining that they've been summoned back so soon. Like, I want to rest longer. You guys keep saying stuff like that, and the next group of warrior candidates are going to be pass you by, you know. Well, Falco, aren't you excited? By the way, quick note, I think I need to make a correction here. I think the last chapter, I was mixing up Colt and his brother Falco. Because Colt's the one there. Anyway, we get some focus on Colt thinking to himself how he wants to protect Gabby, so he's going to have to surpass her. Yeah, if anyone's inheriting the armored Titan, it's me. And Gabby's reaction is a headbutt. You'd like to see you try. Meanwhile, inside the actual building, we see Porco Galliard just going up the stairs, and he runs into a woman crawling along the floor. Oh, morning, Pock. Piek, what are you doing? This feels more natural to me. Did I surprise you? Just stand when you walk, okay? And at this point, when they walk into the room, everybody's there. It's the two of them, Colt, the older brother, Reiner, and Zeke. And what Galliard notes this, like, it's not every day we meet in your room, War Chief. What about the Marleyan army? They're not in this room, Zeke says. We're sharing a cup of tea, that's all. Galliard's like, what? But anyway, well, the situation is bad. Over the past few years, Marley has come out on top from an age of struggles for resources, using our Titans to silence whatever nations that try to oppose it. This has led to the world's hatred of Eldians to expand to levels that remind us of the old Imperial times. We have served Marley in order to sow our remorse for our history. We were not wrong to do so, but the voices from around the world are calling for the extermination of the Eldian people have grown even louder. In addition, recent battles have made it even more clear to all that conventional weapons will outperform Titan weaponry in the future. In other words, it will not be long before Eldians lose their tactical value. Once we do, Marley will no longer be able to maintain its power as a nation. If Marley is weak, the wall separating Eldians from the rest of the world will disappear, and then our right to life will be in an even more precarious position. The world is now saying that there is no need to apply the concepts of human rights to Eldians. This is a threat to the existence of our race. Colt asks if there's anything they can do about that, and Zeke knows that the only way is to do as we've done. Marley must immediately take control of the founding Titan and the resources on the island of Paratus. This will allow Marley to maintain its power as a nation, while simultaneously resolving the threat to the world that is Paratus by her own hands. And then from Piek, who's lying on the sofa kitty style, but even if the plan to retake the founder succeeds, I feel like that wouldn't be enough to balance out the rest of the world's historical feelings about Eldians, given how bad it's gotten now. Very good, Piek, exactly. And for some reason, the way Zeke looks right here kind of reminds me of Ida from My Hero Academia. But he goes on, what's important is the story we tell. We need to prepare a script leading up to retaking the founder. First, we'll need to give the world a very good idea of just how much of a threat that island is to us all. And every story needs a narrator. It seems that the Tiber family will play that role for us. The keepers of the Warhammer Titan. This makes Colt's asked about this, like, the Tiber family? Yes, the first family of aristocrats to oppose King Fritz in the Great Titan War a century ago. As honorary Marlians, they followed a policy of non-interference in both politics and war. But they have agreed to take action, given these fears about the future of Marley and Eldia. From Piek, true, the Tiber family has never once used the power of the Titans against an enemy state, and most of all, they'll have clout with other countries as a family who fought off King Fritz in the Great Titan War. The world will have to listen to us if we speak through the Tibers. Very good, Piek. Absolutely right. Again, looking like Ida. But then we go to Galliard. But the Tiber family has never done their duty to protect our country, even though they held the Warhammer Titan all this time. They lived carefree lives in big mansions on big estates while other Eldians were forced into internment. Isn't it a little too selfish for them to show up now and start acting like heroes? I understand, but the Tiber family is concerned about our motherland of Marley as well. But this is when Reiner pops in, if this will save our motherland of Marley, then I welcome it. We warriors should work with the Tiber family and act as cornerstones to the restoration of the heroic nation of Marley. Yes, the festival will be taking place soon in Rebellio. A festival. Important figures and journalists from many nations will be invited, and the Tiber family will make a declaration that Parados will be under our control within a year. The fate of Eldians and Marley ride on this strategy. We cannot tolerate another failure. And as Zeke finishes off, like, let us once again bring our hearts and minds together for the future of Eldians and our motherland, Marley. We see some other men in another room listening to this. Like, Galliard seems a little unhappy about it, but he's the type who always sticks to his orders. If this is all he's saying in private, it shouldn't be a problem. I just wish Zeke didn't throw that comment in. And back in the other room, we see Reiner thinking, "Not in this room, eh?" Which might be what the guy was referring to. And Reiner's thinking to himself that before a major operation begins, they always run a check on our thoughts and ideologies, just like they did back then. And he's doing this as he's watching Gabby and Falco train. So I'm going to have to go back to that island. And we get we start in the flashback mode here as we see Annie and Reiner kind of like training with their Titans. We see them kind of people watching this. It's wonderful. They turned out even better than expected. The female Titan, an all-purpose unit, capable in every field. In addition to high mobility and endurance, the Heart Titan's hardening abilities combined with Leonhardt's striking makes for an incredible destructive force. She's also able to summon pure Titans, though her range is limited. As you can see, the armored Titan is the one that specializes in hardening abilities. One slam from that body should be able to destroy both walls and floors. As a Titan who will act as Marley's shield and absorb attacks, as well, Brown's stoic nature fits the role. Then the Jaw Titan is an assault unit. Its small size makes it the swiftest of all, and powerful nails and jaws can crush just about everything. We've entrusted it to the quick-witted Marcel. And the Beast Titan is the same as ever. It's a bit larger than the others, but that's far from all. Who would have thought that its throwing abilities would become such an awe-inspiring weapon? And we kind of see that as we start kind of kicking in there too. You know, the first time I read this chapter, I thought they were like training exercises, but this is actually them in battle. These guys in the truck are just watching. They're spectators of the fight. Most of all, there's the hidden power hidden in his blood. The boy wonder is giving us a miracle. And then we also see something coming out from the water here. The Cart Titan, with its unusually high endurance, is well suited to long missions. This allows us to equip it with armaments, expanding the variety of our tactics at our disposal. Giving it to Piek, who shows strong judgment, is surely the right move. And the Colossus Titan. And what we see here, just for reference, is like I said, as we're going through this, we're pretty much seeing each person like do their thing. Like Annie is just tearing shit up. Reiner is tanking blasts. Galliard is attacking the cannons. Marcel, rather. Well, Marcel Galliard, but still. Zeke is like just tossing like rocks into the fray, just crushing it. And Piak comes out of the water in like a Titan form with like a sort of like a water mask or something similar. And then she drops a little, what almost looks like a little bassinet, but it's like big enough for a young Berthold, because that's where we go, whose finger has been pricked, and that's when we see the Colossus Titan. It is a god of destruction. It almost makes me feel sympathy for those island devils. That thing is going to show up one day out of nowhere and start killing them. Yes, our new warrior unit is more powerful than it was in the past. Training them since infancy has paid off. But I have doubts about the Army's decision. Entrusting the plan to retake the founder to our children, to 4 children, it doesn't seem sane to me. Oh, but those very children just now crushed an entire nation before our eyes. Beast, Cartman, you Cartman, you're a bad Titan. You're a good Titan, actually. You are needed at home to threaten enemy nations. You will not participate in this mission. And so the plan to retake the founder will be carried out by the Jaw, Armor, and Colossus and female Titans. Marcel, Berthold, Annie, Reiner, we leave this to you. And then we're seeing Reiner get accosted by Porco. It doesn't make sense. You're at the bottom of the group. Why would they pick you? What did you do to get picked? Of course, Reiner's like getting cocky. Doesn't this just mean that you were at the bottom, Pock? And Porco is like stopped from attacking him by Marcel's like, are you disobeying the Army's decision? And he leads Porco away, but not before turning back and saying, sorry, Reiner. Then we're seeing everybody kind of get led through here. Like we see Reiner like seeing his mother in the crowd, and they're kind of crying to each other. We see Reiner meet his father, and he's trying to solve the fact that he's an honorary Marleyan. Like, well, he'll be able to walk right outside the walls if we get notification. Like, your mom could even live. Are you kidding me? That woman told you to come here, didn't she? So she get revenge on me. Damn it! And she forced her kid to become a warrior all for that. If they look at your origins, my family is done for. You're trying to hang me, aren't you? Well, I'm going to run it from you as far as I can. You and your mother, the 2 of you alien devils. And he's out. And then, we kind of flash forward a bit to just before he's about to leave on the mission. Like, you okay, Reiner? It's already time to go. I know you'll be able to complete your mission, and I'm sure your father is praying for your success, too. Yeah. We see the crowd kind of cheering him on. Our chosen alien warrior. Save us all from those island devils. Reiner's thinking to himself, it doesn't matter if I don't have a father. I'm a chosen warrior entrusted with the armored Titan. I'll save everyone from the island devils and become the hero to the world. Then to the border to Utopia. Move north once the sun sets. From there, just follow the plan. The Marleyan army will anchor there on the full moon. Take that into account and carry out the plan to retake the founder. Which one to two of them decide? Yes, sir. With Annie looking as stoic as ever, like she looks thrilled. Okay, carry out your mission. Come back with the founder, all of you. They're traveling at night, but they weren't able to get all that far at night. Like, we couldn't have done any better. It was cloudy. I'm just glad we didn't run into any Titans. But is the King of the Walls really not going to use the founding Titan even if the walls are destroyed? Why did you bring that up now, Berthold? Believe in Marley's research. Yes. There's no going back now. This is Marcel. We're going to the wall tomorrow, and what is it? Wait. Don't tell me you're feeling hesitant to kill those island devils, Reiner. Have you forgotten what they did to Marley and us? These are descendants of devils who once trampled over the world and turned into a living hell. The world still lives in fear of them. We're here to represent that world. Chosen warriors meant to judge them for their actions. Sorry, then we go back to Marcel. Like, sorry, Reiner. You see, you weren't supposed to be chosen as a warrior in the first place, but I influenced the army's opinion by putting you on a pedestal and making my little brother look bad. Everybody seems surprised by this, but it's like, I wanted to protect my brother. I'm sorry, Reiner. But Reiner's like, why are you apologizing? But he's so stunned that he doesn't even notice a certain Titan just popping up from behind him. As the daylight starts up. And he's thinking to himself, like, I'm a chosen warrior, entrusted with the armored Titan. I'm going to punish those island devils and become a hero who saves everyone. And as he's thinking this, like, we get the famous scene where Marcel shoves Reiner out of the way, gets grabbed by Ymir in Titan form and eaten. While the others can only just flee. And that is where the chapter ends. And I'm not sure how much longer we'll be staying in Marley, but I can imagine at least one more chapter after this. Just because they're going to be getting set up for what comes next. Like, it'd be neat if we actually get this whole next thing from their perspective. So maybe even if we just leave Marley, we'll still be on their side. Kind of getting an idea of just how the the Waldians, to use another fan term I've been seeing, to how they've done it, but it's entirely from like this side's perspective. Like I said at the beginning, I said the sheer like tininess of Gaiby and these other kids just still shocks me a little bit. It's like, holy moly, they're tiny little kids. We see that's no different than when Reiner and them were kids, because like they're just still just as tiny. It's interesting that Z kind of threw in like they're not in this room, as if like kind of like warn them that yeah, we're being listened to. Though it seems like Reiner kind of already knew that. It's kind of interesting to see where Reiner might be standing after all this, because after everything that's happened, like he's kind of in a odd spot ideologically. Because it's clear that this whole thing's been a mess on his head. But is he still so unfailingly loyal as he lets himself make out to be? Because as Gabby knows, like he is acting strangely in certain areas, so maybe not. And on the other hand, maybe he's worse than he's ever been about that. So, and we kind of get like a recap of each of their titans. Like, I think I saw someone like kind of mentioned before that they wanted the female titan was some kind of all-rounder, and this chapter does confirm that that is indeed the case. We also see that the Cartman Titan is a bit of a like more of a support unit. Like it can do like all sorts of little support things without actually being in direct combat. And it's also like, as we kind of already knew, like good for long missions because we know Piek's been able to stay in that way for months. I wonder how like sustain themselves are eating that form. And the Colossus Titan, and that's where Armin is now, just a god of destruction. He's a big old sucker. I think the actually we might be two more chapters because we have to almost forgot we have this whole festival thing with the Tiber family coming up, and that's a thing by itself. We finally have our 9th Titan named, the Warhammer Titan. So it finally gives us all 9. Like we have Founder, Attack, Colossus, and Female on the Waldian side. Well, only at least in the sense where they actually have Annie captive. While on the other side we've got Cartman, Beast, what's here? Armored, and Jaws, with the Warhammer kind of like in the wings. So we finally have all 9 Titans named, and we at least know roughly where the 9th one is, but not actually who holds it. So we definitely got that going for us here now. Let's see here. Like I said, I've seen people like some of the comments I've been seeing about this stuff, like is noting like how Reiner is like thinking like he's been given like plot armor to survive about everything he shouldn't be surviving, but then they're noting seeing that this is all kind of just to make him suffer more. So it's like being the guy's favorite is just him suffering. The author's Isayama's favorite. So like you can kind of see like just why Reiner is so messed up though after this. Like he's been growing up telling him like he's half-blooded, which is kind of a bad thing by itself, but his father would almost certainly want him if they knew. And as soon as it happens, as soon as he sees his father, he's like, oh, screw this, I am out of here. If they look into your origins, I am so fucked, I'm getting out of here while I still can. And the way like her mother keeps talking, I don't know if it's supposed to mean that she actually believes what she's saying, which is entirely possible from what we've seen, or if she's just actively lying to him. Could go either way. And then on top of that, he finds out he was never supposed to be a warrior in the first place. Like his whole, like, it should have been Porco who had his Titan, the armored Titan, and he was never going to do it. So, I think it makes it wonder, like, what would happen if someone besides Reiner had been given that Titan? If it had been Porco after all, like, would the same sort of thing still have happened? Because they still stopped, and Ymir is still right there. So, but then again, the thing that gave the Ymir a chance to eat Marcel was the fact that Reiner is both caught from behind and just stunned by this revelation. But you have to feel for Marcel. Like, he just wanted to protect Porco, and now we are in the present. He's taking that very same Titan. It kind of makes it realize, like, maybe, like, why Reiner asked him about seeing Marcel's memories. So with Ymir kind of in the gap there, it kind of makes things a little trickier. It also makes you wonder what will happen if he does get those full memories back. If he actually does see Marcel telling Reiner this, or like acting in such a way as to deliberately like sabotage his own chances. At this point, I wonder if Reiner's like quickly learning to a point where I think it's like he has nothing left to lose. So he's gonna be he could do something crazy or desperate. I think Zeke's in a similar boat because he definitely wants to get this done within the next year, which is like when his time as the Beast Titan will run out. It's hard to see what's going on here. Like, and then, like I said, holding with the Tybar family is going to be definitely going to be a big thing here, because you've got a big event where they're going to be doing something to set the narrative for what's coming up next. So the obvious question is, what's going to fuck it up? Because something is going to screw this up. This is like, say, like the wedding in One Piece, or like the giant wedding king sets. Something is going to happen. Everything is set up for this to not go smoothly. So what will happen? Also, in terms of just like general stuff, I like Piek in this chapter. It's like she's just like walking on all fours because it's more comfortable for her, like sitting on the sofa like a cat or dog, like just comfortable with. She's just being comfortable. Also, like Zeke kind of like responding to her, like almost like Ida from Hero Academia. And so they seem to actually they try to make each person fit for their Titans when they were first chosen. So Annie is basically chosen because like, she's like best all over around in different areas. Marcel's apparently quick-witted, like he's able to act quickly and think quickly, so that's why he gets the Jaws. Reiner's considered stoic, so he's got the armored, so then so on and so on. Yeah, I think things are being set up for some kind of like turn on everyone here, because we've got Galliard questioning orders, if not necessarily being willing to disobey them. Reiner like all sorts of messed up. Zeke determined to get everything done in 1 year. Like Gabby and Falco's probably going to kick in somewhere along the way here too. But I can't really think of anything else I want to bring up beyond all that, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this review here. Again, that's chapter 95 of Attack on Titan, Liar. Until next month on this series, I'll see you then, and bye-bye.